I will first address in the Chapter 3 assignment the pro, which you stated was that individuals that are for teacher accountability feel that making teachers accountable would translate into marginal teachers leaving the profession. I guess as a coach and a teacher, and as a teacher in a specialty, I feel that I don't know if I would even agree with that pro. I feel that teachers nowadays are in a sense, highly competitive and also understand the extremes as to the pressures that they are having to perform at to make sure that they are teaching the students what they need to learn, plus also being able to perform on the state assessments. I do feel that some teachers, once they perform at a lower level, are going to find that um, that could be kind of a blow to their ego, and that could eventually lead to teachers wanting to get out of the profession because they are not able to perform at the level that the district is expecting and also what is asked of um, administrators in their school. So I'm not quite sure if I even agree with the pro in the sense that I think more teachers actually would start to leave the profession because the higher expectations that would be put upon them, knowing that failure is evident, it may not leave many teachers left because of the stress that that would put on them, and that is not something that they are going to want to chance. As for the con, I do agree with that. It is unfair to tie teacher evaluations to test scores. There is so many things out there that are factors with our children nowadays, whether it's in fourth grade or it's in 11th grade, of what students are going through and what is expected of them in the classroom, and understanding their backgrounds and their educational experiences. I come from a school right now that I'm teaching at that mobility is not extreme, but we do have students that come and go to 3 or 4 different schools in a year. And if that should happen to happen in their fourth grade year or their junior year, when that is a state assessment test year, and you have no idea what their background is or how much education they really have received in those previous schools, and they are one of your students now that you are going to be evaluated on, that seems a bit extreme to put that into a teacher's pay or a teacher's um, level of recommendations, if you will, if they should be allowed to stay in a district. I furthermore don't have any issues with um, it being a small component in a teacher's evaluation. I feel that state assessment scores and the results of those for those 2 or 3 different grade levels, especially that are scored out, I feel that those teachers have a little bit more on their plate, but uh, the evaluation piece should be very small when it comes to um, those stressors. However, if you do continue to have poor state assessment scores year after year in those 2 or 3 particular grades, I think that you as an administrator need to evaluate to see if this is really truly the best fit for that teacher in that position, and are they preparing students for what needs to be tested on. Now, going back to the Horace Mann discussion, I do feel that the man who has invented the free education and that belief in society still has stuck today. I do feel that his place in the special education world never would have been able to fly, to compare in the 1900s to now, um, with all of the special needs, um, what children get because of that, and the beliefs of Horace Mann. Um, it just would not have worked back then. So too many situations and too many different things have come in with society that present us with children that are needing so much more nowadays, that to compare the 1900s to 2016 with the Horace Mann, I think there is so many differences in the way we educate children, how we educate children, what our classrooms look like now as compared to in the 1900s that probably Horace Mann would have never agreed with nowadays. So, as somebody who established basically the free education of what children are now, is not what society looked like back then, and who was allowed to be educated also.